All right. Welcome to another segment of Truth Colors. I was told that people could not hear the last video I did, so I'm back to redo that video. Hopefully, I can make this video go even faster now. Yeah. We're just gonna look at certain things, and yeah, that's it. All right. I cannot see if anyone can hear me or not. It's crazy. All right, so here we go. Let me put this microphone in front of me so y'all can hear me for sure. For sure. Last time was on the side, but this time it's gonna be in front and center. Right? Let's get it. All right, we're gonna look at a couple things. Right. That's my name. For those who want to know who I am on Facebook, Lepshep to Helium, RA. All right, let's get it. We was looking at the ceiling of those per se from 144,000. And we're trying to see if this is what that is. Everything on my computer is going hot. All right. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Come on.
There'll be a number and seal according to Torah. According to the prophecy, 144,000 men will come up here and be sealed and numbered, as you see now, as it is written. Exodus 30, chapter 30, verse 11 talks about the sealment and the number.
Pay attention to the wind.
And how these men will come up in the last days. Well, the sealment, second Ezra chapter 2 and 36 talking about how they would come up in the future. Only 144,000 would come up. But this was done in the days of old. Only all Israel came to do this in this place. But the prophecy says only 144 will come to do this. And this is what you're seeing. A half a shekel bringing in sheaves. This is Torah. Bring your father, your sons up here to be numbered. Many are called, but few are chosen. Only few will do this.
Shalom, Akodis, and Akims.
According to Torah, the children of Israel will be sealed and numbered the same way in the future as our forefathers. The difference is only 144,000 will show up to do this. This is what you see. They bring it in the sheaves. This is the tithes for those who are in church or Christian. It's never money. It was always tithes. It's always the firstlings of the land. And this is what these brothers bring it up. What you see here behind me is Jerusalem, desolate as it is stated, surrounded by mountains. It is real. This place is real. The call from Mount Zion has been issued out, has been decreed out 4 years ago for our people to return, almost 5 years ago. As you can see, the children of Israel are starting to return. What's that? Almond birds? I didn't know if I could believe it. Oh, in the Quran, yeah, indeed. Call for the house of Zadok to return. Our brothers, call for the house of Zadok to return. Zadok. Zadok. you see, the brother brought his son up because his son is under his house. So he's bringing his son up because he's a covering. There's no covering unless you bring your sons and you come up yourself as a man. Everyone 20 and above is supposed to come up and do this. You're not covered unless you come up and keep Torah as it is written, according to the Bible. Your covering is your family, but that man has to be covered by the Most High. The only way he's covered by the Most High is fulfillment of Torah, as it is written. The reason I'm showing this is to teach you how it's done, as it's written, so you can know Torah, no religion. Most of our people in America, the majority of our peoples, and all those who are not coming here, according to what's written, are religious. We want to step away from religion and have a culture and a heritage and a walk and a way of life. This is how it's done. This is the city of David, Mount Zion, which you hear in many music and songs. This is the place.
Listen to that. Mount Zion. Looks pretty desolate.
The reason we're in black because we mourn, because our people are not keeping Torah as it is written. Because our people are doing evil. They're keeping Passover and every other feast, not as it is written. And all they're doing is angering the God of Israel. You got brothers teaching that you don't have to come here for Pesach because we did it in Egypt. They will be slaves with the sword by the Hamashiach if they don't change, as it is written.
I still yet to see that.
A lot of brothers think because they've been here 20 and 30 years that they got it right, or because they've been doing this. That was for their time. A lot of these brothers in these camps need to wake up. I think the brothers from the house of David coming out.
It's 16 hours.
All right, let's get to it. All right.
House of the duck.
All right, let's get to it. So he said a couple of things in this that is alarming. I want y'all to notice the wind has not stopped blowing one time. I said it for a reason because I want you to see some things here. So the sealing of Yah's people is it's a ceremony, if you will. All right. How to go about this time? I've done this like 3 times already, and each time the volume's either low or something. So hopefully the volume is just right for this. Okay. I asked Father. I was like, Father, what to make of this? Because I'm not really acquainted with this. I know about the ceilings. I know about other different things, whatnot, but this is different. So I didn't want to say anything without hearing first from the Ruach. And Father was like, go to the scripts. Like, go to the scripts. So I did. I went to the text on this. And I noticed I didn't hear him mention anything about the New Testament or anything. But in this same video, he says the Master or the Messiah, Jesus. And we all know that's not his name. So, moving forward. Revelations chapter 7. Let's see what we got here. All right. After this, so Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. After this, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth. They were holding back the 4 winds. All you kept hearing in the background was brrr, brrr. Whole entire time while the guy is talking. there is wind blowing nonstop in the background. Let's hear it again. I know you're running a whole bunch of things, but I need you to work right now. Come on, come on.
Call for
There
it,
we go.
brother.
Hear it?
Houses of God bring back the ancient Levitical order.
Hear the woo. That's all you hear is wind. That's all you hear. Okay, you can stop now. All right, going back to it. So, Revelation 7 says there's one, the absence of wind. All right. They were holding back four winds of the earth to keep them from blowing on the land, the sea, or any tree. I saw another angel coming from the east with the seal of the living Yah. So I guess that the Father was having the Malachims or angels hold back the winds so they can blow in this place. You know how you in your car or whatnot and you have vents, right? And you close off one vent so it can't blow in this area so it will be stronger in another place. Because it's exactly what it sounds like on this video. Like the winds were being held back everywhere else in the world, but in this one particular part, the winds were let loose. But that can't be. Four winds means everywhere. After this, I saw four angels standing at the four corners of the Middle East. No, four corners of the earth. They were holding back the four winds of the earth to keep them from blowing on the land, the sea, or any tree. That's everywhere. So there's not going to be no blowing of the wind in Jerusalem or Mount Zion. There ain't going to be no blowing of the wind in Arizona, Ohio, Florida, Chicago, England, New Hampshire, Washington. There ain't going to be no winds blowing anywhere. This is going to be a day where it's going to be remembered because there ain't going to be no wind blowing nowhere. So if you go outside one day and the wind ain't blowing, check and see if there's any wind blowing anywhere else. That's how powerful this thing is. It's like this. You know how something happens and people say like, let's get a moment of silence, please. And everyone bow their head and no one says nothing, like all eyes closed, all heads bow, all mouths closed. No one's saying anything for a moment of silence. And it's like this. That's exactly what's happening right here. It's a moment of silence. Complete silence for what something's about to take place. I saw another angel from the east with the seal of Yahuwah. He cried out in a loud voice to the four angels who had been allowed to harm the land and sea. Watch this. Don't harm the land, the sea, or the trees until we have put the seal on the foreheads of the servants of Yahuwah or Elohim. This is happening all over the earth. So when they touch the sea, the land, and the trees, they're going to be touched literally by Malachims or by the angels all over the globe. Every single tree is going to be affected. Every single land, sea, whatever. All of it is going to be affected because it's saying to the Malachims, right? Four angels who have been allowed to harm the land and sea. They're saying don't hold off on the four winds and hold off on you destroying the sea, the lands, and the trees. Hold off on that. Why? For this very important ceremony that's about to take place. until we have put the seal, so hold back the winds until we have put the seal. Hold back, don't harm anything else until we have put the seal of Yah on the servants of Yah's forehead. Now what's this? And I heard how many were sealed, 144,000 from every tribe of the people of Israel. Okay, 12,000. You see it? Judah or Yehuda or Yada, Reuben, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh, Simeon, Levi, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Right? So we can see that right here. All day long. Sealed. Right? After these things, I saw a large crowd from every nation, tribe, people, and language. No one was able to count how many people there were. They were standing in front of the throne. They were standing in front of the throne and the Lamb. They were wearing white robes, holding palm branches in their hands, and crying out in a loud voice, "Salvation belongs to our Elohim, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb." All the angels stood around the throne with the leaders and the 4 living creatures. They bowed in front of the throne with their faces touching the ground, worshiping Elohim, and said, "Amen. Praise, glory, wisdom, thanks, honor, power, and strength be to our Elohim forever and ever. Amen." Let's see. White robes. What are they wearing?
Huh? I have one.
Said that the number could not be counted of how many people was there. How many people are there? How many people are here?
We ask all those to join us. Shavuot, which is we call Pentecost.
According to that scripture, it should be like no people. It should be people filled in right in this area. We should be already able to see like people we can't even count. Right there, we shouldn't be able to count no numbers of the people. Right now, I see 3.
Is the email to reach out to us.
I see 4. I see 5. I see 6. I see 7. I see 8. I see 9. I see 10. It's it. Okay.
And you can reach us at
Let's stop.
347-748-1175.
Stop. Okay. All right. So we already see some discrepancies going on right now. The wind is still constantly blowing. There's not a large crowd from every nation, tribe, people, and language. No one was able to count how many people were there. Nobody will be able to count how many people are there. Right now, we can count everybody in attendance. Oh, yeah. They were wearing white. They were wearing black. They had palm branches in their hands, wearing white robes. They're wearing black. And they said they're wearing black because they're in mourning. Moving on. Another thing he said a lot of people are keeping the feast days wrong because they're not keeping it in Jerusalem. And I hear a lot of people say that too, but thank Yah for him giving truth about a lot of things. So he said the place where they were at was in Mount Zion, which is good. I like that. All right, this is what you need to know. There's 4 places where the Father has placed his name, and I'm going to type them in. First one, Garden of Eden. Of course he got to be. That's his baby right there. Garden of Eden is where who was there? Adam and Chaka. I think her name is Chaka. Someone. It's not Eve. You know, they say Eden. They say Eve. I mean, but it's not Eve. It's actually something else. Her name was something else. It's Chua or Chawa, something. But I just want y'all to know that. That's not her name. Eve is not her name. That's the name that was given to her. That's the name that I guess man probably put on her. But that's not her name. All right, next place. I'm going to type them in. Y'all can look them up. Mount East. Boom. What is it? Oh, Mount of the East. Mount of East. Because that brought up the wrong thing. There it is. See how it gives it come up a different name when you put in Mount East. Okay. So this right here. It's the Mount of Olives. East Jerusalem. See it? Okay, let's bring it up. See, they won't tell you this thing. They make you think that the place where the Vatican is and the Dome of the Rock and all that stuff is all those special places. It's not. But if you see this, Mount Olives looks desolate, man. But it's the true Mount Olives. Okay. Mountain Ridge of East, adjacent to Jerusalem Old City, is named Olive Grove. See, look at this. They be trying to hide names and stuff. East Jerusalem, Mount of East. All right, so this is another place where he placed his name at. All right, let's get to it. Next place. How y'all say it in the? I think that's how it says, like in the they put the S in there, but in the cipher, Safa, it's spelled with a C, not with C. Look here, Ciyynai. Moshe was on Mount Sinai. Ciyynai. Sinai. Okay, Mount Sinai. All right, they changed it to Sinai, but that's not the real name. Mount Sinai, also known as Mount Horeb or Gabal Musa, is a mountain in Sinai Peninsula of Egypt. See these different places where Father met us at. It's like these different places where we at. All right, so Mount Sinai is a place also where the Father's placed his name. There's another place where he placed his name at, and that is Mount Zion. Now this right here is very powerful. This is where it takes the cake. This is where things start to go left. But I'm not preaching on what I think, I'm preaching on what I know. All right. And the Sifar, it talks about 4 places where the Father's placed his name. The Garden of Eden is one of them. Mount Sinai is the other one. Mount of the East is the other one. And Mount Zion is the other one. All right. So it's 4 places where Yah has placed his name. Here it is, Judean. Now, the place where they said they were at was in Mount Zion. A lot of our people have been going to Mount Zion. And when you look at Mount Zion, it's not what the people say it is. See, they call this Mount Zion. This is what the so-called Jews have built up. All right. This place actually is not Mount Zion. This is the place where Father is going to actually do battle. This is what is it? Joe chapter 3, I believe. This is that Joe chapter 3 place where the day of Yah is terrible. This is where they have placed. This is where Father comes down to plead for his people's, for the souls of his people. This is that place. They're calling it Mount Zion. That's not it. All right, so we got Mount Zion, but the one thing I want y'all to see here is powerful. See, they trick people saying, "Oh, come and see the Holy Land, Drew." No, okay, that stuff is all made up. It's not what it is. All right, they put some stuff there. All right, the real places are desolate. Every single place I named is desolate, 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 desolate. All right. Let's go look. Psalm 78. It's for those who said we ain't got to keep the feast days because we're not in the land of Jerusalem and blah, 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 blah. We're going to kill that noise right now. All right. So, he abandoned his dwelling place in Shiloh, the 10th, where he had lived among humans. Go all the way down. Keep scrolling. Something's happening. He's allowed his power to be taken. And then when you keep going, it's talking about young men, young women, and all that and so forth. So, he allowed his power to be taken, handed his glory to an oppressor. He let the swords kill his people. He was furious with those who belonged to him. Fire consumed his best young men, so his virgins heard no wedding songs. His priests were cut down with swords. The widows of his priests could not even weep. We see all this going on. Scrolling, and we get to 68. It talks about, but he chose the tribe of Judah or Yehuda or Yada, Mount Zion, which he loved. Now, people argue and say that we're supposed to keep the feast only in the places where the Father has placed his name. Father knew some of y'all would not have the money. Why not? If you can make your pilgrimage to Jerusalem, please do. I want to go. I want to take me and my family. We want to go down there at least once in our life, or keep going back and forth, you know what I'm saying, to go see the places, see the different stuff there. I want to do it. But, and I believe that Father will make a way for all of us to do it. But I want you to know something about the tribe of Yehuda. It didn't say all of Israel. It says, but he chose Joseph's or Jacob's people to be Mount Zion. No, it doesn't say that. It says he chose a tribe, one tribe, to be Mount Zion. This is the only tribe that is dispersed throughout the four corners of the earth. All the other tribes on the outskirts of Israel. Mount Zion was dispersed throughout the four corners of the earth, known as Yehuda, Yada, or Judah. Okay. He said for us to keep the feast days in all of our dwellings forever. But then people reasoning themselves, we can't keep the feast days in the land of our captivity. What I'm here to let you know, yes, you can. Sign Obama's slogan, yes, you can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Didn't say nothing, just said, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And everyone's like, yay! He didn't say nothing. He just said, yes, we can. Yes, we can. That's crazy. Yes, you can keep the feast days wherever you're at. You can. Because you are Judah or Yehuda. And by you being Yehuda, Father has placed his name on you. So therefore, you can keep the feast days in all of your dwellings. You can be obedient now to the word. You can be now obedient to the feast days and keeping them in all your dwellings as the word has said. And everyone try to make up a different excuses and say that we can only keep them in Jerusalem. Only with the place where the Father's placed his name at. I thank Yah for him allowing me to find out that he placed his name in 4 places. And all of those places where he placed his name is desolate. Guess who's not desolate? You. You're still living. You are a temple made for Yah. He placed his name on you. Keep the feast days. keep the Shabbat. I guess we ain't supposed to keep the Shabbat either, as long as we're in Jerusalem. That's the only place we're supposed to keep the Shabbat, right? Doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense. Supposed to keep the feast days in a place where he has designated it. He designated a people to keep the feast days. The people who live on the outskirts of Israel, they're on the outskirts of Israel. They're still somewhere close around the borders of Israel. But Judah is another story. They're not in Israel. They're all over the world, dispersed, with his name on them. So, keep the feast days. The sealing and numbering of the 144,000 is don't fall for that. If you want to go visit, but do not fall for that. That's not what it is. There is so much that's supposed to be done with that. The wind's not supposed to be blowing. They're supposed to be wearing white. There's supposed to be some palm branches in their hands. There's none of that's going on. They're not supposed to be kneeling down between a wall or nothing like that. They will be actually kneeling down at a throne. There is so much wrong with that video. If you want to say, hey, we're just here doing some stuff here in Mount Zion that's desolate right now to show the people the land, then call it that. But don't call it the sealing and numbering of the 144,000 and you need to come to get sealed. No, because from what I've seen is like all the people are in one place together, and as they are in the place together, they get sealed. It's not us moving to a place to get sealed. Like the Father, like my legs broke. I can't get to the people, so I need all the people to get to the land, and then once we get to the land, I will seal them. I can't get around. I have 7 spirits that make up the Ruach HaKodesh, but I can't seem to get around. I have a will within a will that gets me moving to where I need to go. Spoken of in Ezekiel. But you know what? Somehow I'm without transportation. I can't seem to get to my people to number them or to put my imprint in their foreheads. Doesn't make sense. The logic is actually an insult to the Father's mindset. It really is. All right, I love y'all much, man. Y'all have a good one. Remember to subscribe to Truth Colors, Colors of Truth on YouTube.